Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about speaker identifications. I think we've covered just about everything that we pretty much can in the software itself. These are some of my speaker identifications, and you're kind of looking at it like, God, he has so many for some. You have no idea how many different ways you can stroke something. And even if you stroke it one letter off, it's best to put it in there. Also, with the software, with AutoMagic, it's going to know what you're doing. So the next time that it's going to come up, it's going to ask, if you have, this is the way that it's supposed to be stroked out, old, for an old person or whatever, or you have no idea how many different ways you can stroke out witness. Witness, and all it is WNS. But there's so many different ways. All you have to do is just stroke one letter wrong, but do put it in your dictionary that way. Unless it conflicts with something else, always put it in there. Because if not, put it in there. Because unless it conflicts with something else, that's what you need it as. So it doesn't matter how many times you do it. And if AutoMagic picks it, then pick AutoMagic, and it's going to know every time that's what you're trying to do. The more that you use the software, the more that it knows what you're doing, okay? If you just correct it, you just, type it in every time, it doesn't know what you're doing. And I know that I've said this, 100 times, but I can't emphasize it enough. If you don't use the software, it's not gonna help you. So the more you use it, the more it understands how you write. So these are some of the ones that I have. We're gonna go through and define, some of the ones that I think you need. I have a bunch of them because, sometimes in my court, there can be anywhere from 4 to 14, 20 people in one hearing. It just depends on who's there that day, whether it be a police officer, caseworker, therapist, all of the attorneys, the court, CASA supervisor for the caseworker. So you're already starting to add it up. Well, if you only know the 4 that I'm going to give you, then you're going to be in trouble, because everyone in that hearing has to have a symbol, and you have to remember that symbol. So it's very important that you remember that symbol. Now, in deposition settings, it's a little bit different, because usually you have the attorney who's given the depo, the other attorney on the other side, and the client, maybe the videographer, maybe. So you're gonna have, 4 people in there, maybe 5, if they have like a co-counsel or something like that. So you just need to remember your speaker identifications. And I'm gonna tell you, some of the ones that I use is, especially for like the court.
Pretty person.
I'm telling you, when you have some of these, y'all probably don't need to look at. Right here. And y'all know what the court is, right? It's all of your beginning and ending sounds. None of your vowels. Just the beginning and ending. So where your home fingers are, all of those. So just stroke it right now. All of those.
With the asterisk?
Go ahead. No. Just regular. You come up. Okay. Now you need to global it. Is it asking you anything? Huh? Does it ask you in your AutoMagic if you want to define it as a court? It's already defined? Yours comes up to court?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? Huh? What's that?
Well, I've already made up a lot. It's nice. I made up all those. We did those a while ago in theory. Not theory, but like in speed.
Y'all got them?
Well, we did like major. Yeah, because we used to have 3 and 4 speakers, so we kind of set them up.
So you already have your speaker identification set up?
Yeah.
Okay. So define it. And this is the way that you want to define it, guys. Bracket, large S, which means speaker, colon, no space, the court, close bracket. Hey, you doing it?
It's already got mine.
It
It's
is?
already-
Yours is? Okay.
Mine's default defined as court.
Huh?
My, the one that's in my dictionary is court. But I just added the one you told us to.
Get out. Are you doing real testing? Okay, so it already comes up.
Well, because I just added it. I just added the one you told us to.
How did you, oh, you had court?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, okay, I see what you're
That's in
saying.
my dictionary.
This is the easiest way. Guys, you can do it however you want. However is easiest for you. That's the way that I learned. If you want to do it court for the court every time, it's going to give you one more stroke. So it's one more thing that you have to do other than just hit those letters. Really easy. Let's see if I can find it. Okay guys, now I have a lot of entries in here. This is the way, and you can do it however you want. I mean, I don't know how you guys learned it. Like in school, we learned SNAO, which is S-N-A-O, and screw, S-K-W-R-A-O. And those are your two speaker identifications. If you're gonna do depots, I suppose. We have 4 attorneys, at least 4 attorneys in every hearing. You have one for the state, one for the child's ad litem, one for the mom, one for the dad. Sometimes there's 2, 3 for the dad. That's why I'm saying you have to have other speaker identifications. But if you ever come sit in my court, you better have at least 4. At least 4. One for the caseworker is 5. Court is 6. At least 6. At least. Okay? This is the way that I stroke it out. This is the way that it's really supposed to be stroked out. These other ones are by adding a different letter, but I knew that I knew what I wanted to do, so I went ahead and defined it. STPH, FPLT. So it's the top bank of the home key. So if you want to use these, do that now. If you don't, then you need to put SNAO and screw, or whatever you want, for your attorney 1, attorney 2, and then you better figure out 2 other things for your attorney 3 and your attorney 4 that you're going to use all the time and that you know that you're going to remember. Okay? I want you to do that right now and define it for your speaker 1. STPH, FPLT is what I use.
I have a question. Mine comes up as the opening parentheses. Is there a reason why I need just the opening parentheses?
I think mine is paren. Paren is parentheses for me, but I mean, if that's how you have it defined, do you use that?
I've never used it in my life. No,
Parentheses?
that's Just the opening, just the opening one.
Yeah. If you want to use it for that,
But
go
it's
right
not-
ahead. Then you need to figure out another thing for your attorney 1.
But will that come up when I'm writing? That's what I'm asking.
In 19 years, I don't think I've used a parentheses.
Okay.
I don't think I have. When I'm writing.
But when you're editing, you can go back to just edit.
When you edit is different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about stroking right now. We need to, we're worried about stroking and speaker identifications right now. So that's what we need. Were you able to define it? Did you figure out one?
Okay, so what are we defining? It's just attorney 1, attorney 2? Is what we're defining them as?
SNAO and screw, yeah. And it's going to come up. It's going to come up like this. That it's a speaker, attorney 1, just the way that it's set up right here, and it knows what to do. It already knows to set it up in colloquy. That's what you want it as. Now when you hit your speaker and you hit question, then it knows to set it up as an examination.
Even what, don't you just set it up like there, because you put your names, like I do, SNU, SCREW, FBLTI, RBGSI, I have 4. And when we're there, I just set them up like Smith, Jones, go do that.
Yeah, this is just generic.
Have like 6.
This is generic
Yeah.
because you go back and define it later.
Yeah.
This is only set up as a not a conflict. What am I thinking of? Where you go through in the beginning, you put your cursor right here. It's already set up in colloquy. So like my judge will say, let me see if I can bring it up. And I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I see, you just want us to set it up. Ours is already set up. Work that way.
What's that?
Ours is already set up to come up that way. It just says SNU, SCREW, and it already knows to go over and you can do SNU, question mark. It says by SNU, question.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about right here. So it's going to come up, Attorney 1. You put your cursor right there, left click it, it's going to highlight it, then it's going to ask you what you want to do with it. Okay, so you put Control G because you want to define it, and then you do F2 because you want to put it in your speaker box. Okay, so let's do that. If you have your speaker identification up for 1, I want you to put your cursor in there, highlight it, and then push Control G to where you're going to define it. Don't do anything with it yet. Everybody have it? It's highlighted, global. Got it? Push F2. F2 is going to bring up your speaker box. Okay? Actually, you don't actually have to do it that way. What you can do is put your cursor on your speaker identification, push Control G. It's going to ask you what you want to name it as. Put it as Miss Jennings. On the bottom, it's going to ask you, if you come in here, Control G, it's going to ask you what you want to define it as, what you want to put it under. You do not want to put it in your main, okay? Because your speaker identifications are going to be different every time. The only thing that you want is when you're defining your speaker identification, like say you stroke it 1 letter off or whatever, you put an extra letter, that's the only time you want to put it in your main. Other than that, if it's correct, then you don't want to mess with it. You want to put it in a job dictionary, which is Control J. So that's what I want you to do right now. Highlight it, Control G is global, Miss Jennings, just like that. You don't have to put any brackets, nothing. Just stroke out Miss Jennings, Control J, and it should already go to it, or push Enter. Got it? Did it come up?
No.
Huh?
I labeled it at first to Attorney 1, and then I changed it to Miss Jennings, like you said. I put in my job dictionary, and it came up like that. It came up Not at first it was a speaker identification.
And how do you get that audit thing?
Did you do what I told you to do on the speaker identification with the brackets, attorney 1?
Yeah, I did that, and then you said to go in and change it like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at first it was attorney 1, it was
You should
fine.
already put it in paren.
Do I need,
Just escape out. Redefine it again. Get in. Okay, hang on. Go back. They should have already been sent. That's okay. We'll redefine it as.
that's what I did, and I changed it.
Control G.
Is yours doing anything, Stacey?
I don't even know what it's like. How
I'm sorry?
To the yellow suggestion box?
yeah, it's just like that.
What's your name? What's the name?
You can do the S, colon, and then Miss Jennings. What's the PGH?
Paragraph.
I mean, I have to pull this new.
Is that a setting that's different on mine than yours, or
No,
what?
it should.
And then hers isn't even on that.
And it's
The bottom part. Yeah.
The bottom part.
Upper global, Sean.
Like, it's supposed to turn into that person.
But 22 is what,
Well,
30 or
I
32?
just did.
That's your 22?
I just did it right now.
Is that what you
Because this one, yeah.
So I did a turn one, but it's on turn two. And you have to choose counts. Turn one. So you do this. That's why I never did this other one. I wrote them down, I just never did.
Go ahead and set up your real time. Okay, anybody else have any problems with it? It should come up as colon, Ms. Jennings.
Oh, S colon?
Mine just comes up as strong.
Well, he's just really Yeah. Did you fix it?
Yeah, I have to do S, colon, and then the name with the squiggly. I can't just put the name. Whatever.
Go ahead and define
Yeah, mine. I just come back.
Oh, yeah. You just have to put it down. When you went to utilize it, just make sure it's in there. It should look like that. X colons, when you go up, I see that.
Yeah, but we can do whatever we want, right?
But you're
So
gonna
whatever
whatever
ones I do it. We have to get those back.
Yes.
Just say just do.
Does you know what you want it? Yes. Colon, is Jenkins.
And then do that with Jane, or do that with us?
And then we do job application, application.
So why do you say just type on these terms?
Yes, yeah, you didn't even put the bracket in. That's one.
It's all closed.
Did y'all come up here?
Yeah.
Anybody else have any problems with it?
I have paragraphs.
What's your first one? This is all caps. Control J. Everybody got it? Okay. Come out. Is it coming out?
Yeah.
Everyone's coming out all right?
Just verify, so when you're entering the name, like which one you're gonna, you're doing the bracket as colon is the first name?
Yeah. And that's the way, that's the reason that I was telling you guys about doing it like this, where you do, put your cursor in there, Control G. It's easier to do F2 because it kind of knows what you're doing. It's a speaker list already. You go in there and you put, you know what, I don't want to change it in this one because this is an actual job that I did. Go in where you're at, and we want to change that name. So put your cursor on that speaker, Control G, F2, and we're going to change it to Ms. MS Noble, all caps. Push enter. It's going to take you back to the box. It should put Miss Noble with the brackets S, colon, whatever. Then you want to do Control J again because you only want to use it as a job dictionary. Okay? Don't get ahead of me, guys, because if you put it in your main, then we're going to have to go through and figure it out in your main. So listen to what I'm telling you guys. Did it come out? It set it up the same way, colloquy? Everything's correct?
I noticed your speaker identifications, it's on margin 10, I mean 15. Mine's on margin 10, does it matter?
What did you see?
Mine's on 10 too.
Yours is on 10?
Did you want us to change that?
Yeah, because mine are going to be uniform settings.
Make this change globally. Do you want to say yes or no?
Yeah, you want to make it globally because that means it's going to put it throughout the whole document.
As long as it's in the job dictionary, right? Because you don't want it in the main dictionary, you want it in the job
It doesn't matter if you put it in the main dictionary. It's going to ask you whether you want to put it globally from there on, and you want to do it globally from there on.
Is it right there, Deb? Mr. Barrett? It's on
Mr.
margin.
Barnett?
Barnett, it's on margin 15.
Paragraphs. Speaker. It's on 14.
So do we need to change ours to that?
Yeah. Go into global your speaker. Actually, you don't have to. Go into Alt U, go into your user settings. Make sure you have these settings right here. Where it's at 0 left margin, 56, 14, and 2.
Can we go to the other fixed question answer just to make sure we have it all?
This is also the way that you want it set up. So when you're in a speaker, push the advanced button down there.